Clear. Okay, man. I understand there is still time left in this game, but with 5 minutes, we are getting 5 Tristan Thompson minutes. You see the scoreboard in the corner of the screen. Now I'm going to take it off. Look, y'all. Look, y'all. The Cavs have come out here and sent a absolute message. And I talked about this in a video before. There are so many reasons why I think this team is different. This is one of them. They call out Tyler Hero before this game. And you know what? They don't back down from that challenge. They want that challenge. They wanted to get the best out of Miami. Miami came out of this game trying to give them the best thing. I'm losing my voice, but they're trying to give them the best fight they can, and it don't matter. It don't matter. No Darius Garland. Donovan Mitchell's having an off night. Doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. And I think I mentioned this to you, Mac, and I'll get your thoughts on this. I think if you're playing the Cavs, you want to see Donovan get 30 because that means other players aren't scoring the way they should. But, man, when Donovan got like 12, that's trouble.
when Donovan can distribute and can just freely play, it's fine. Donovan played less than 30 minutes in this game. And you're up by 30. Like, this is
game 3 of a playoff. Like, this isn't like regular season.
I'm sorry, you're up by almost 40.
Yeah, this isn't regular season.
30. Man,
this isn't regular season in November or whatever it is. We need the diff, right?
But I need my diff, damn it.
Yeah, bring it to TNT, Dan. But this isn't regular season, right before the All-Star break. Nobody cared. This is game 3 of the playoffs. This is on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, look, last year we saw this team struggle on the road in the playoffs. They could not close out the Orlando Magic. They could not put their foot on the neck of the Orlando Magic. One of the things I said I want to see this Cavs team do, and they have not done it yet, but it looks like they're going to be on the pace to do it. End the team, right? They have never just ended a series, just said no more of this nonsense. This shit is over. They let that Orlando series go to 7 last year, right? We know what happened against New York, and we know what happened against the Celtics. If they take care of business within these next 2 games, that is doing exactly what I asked them to. The way they showed up, game 3, and this is not just any game 3. Miami, not a great home team this year, but we know the trouble that Miami brings, right? They call it the Miami flu.
Mm-hmm.
We know Miami is an infamous place to play. The whole 2006 finals, everything, right, has made it an infamous place to play, the infamous place to lose focus. But this team just has so much focus, so much leadership. And this is why Kenny Atkinson is here. This feels like a championship caliber team, man. Like, I can't get away from it. This is the stuff that a championship caliber team does.
One more time. Sorry, my mic was cutting out. My bad.
Oh, yeah. No, this feels like a championship caliber team, and this is the stuff a championship caliber team does, man.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And, like, again, this being the first road game of the playoffs, like, it's a tone setter for what you're going to get. And, you know, again, just looking at the box score, DeAndre Hunter had just over 28 minutes, 34 and plus minus today, 21 points. Like, and again, 21 points on just 8 shots attempted, not made, attempted. 6 free throws, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Also a big key for today, 17 of 20 from the free throw stripe right now. Like, taking care of their shots. Again, another Cavalanche. Now it's almost 40. Like, and this is with the garbage time lineup that you're extending this lineup, this lead out. Like, again, you're getting Tristan Thompson minutes, baby. Tristan Thompson minutes. Let's go.
Legend.
Like, and it's why, again, I talked about it on the air a couple weeks ago. When people bring up like the New York stuff, the stupid lights were too bright comment, like, again, it's why I constantly say this is a different team. I understand it's the same players. They were young, and again, you learn from experiences as time goes along. And again, you mentioned it. Without one of your top starters, without an all-star starter, like an all-star player that
And
starts on your team,
the guy who's been the engine of the offense,
Right.
everything that the Cavs have done against the Miami Heat has been around Darius Garland attacking that switch with Tyler Hero. That's the whole game plan. You lose him for a game, and hopefully he's back normal by the end of this series, and he'll get some time to rest. Hopefully, if the Cavs take care of business tomorrow or a couple days from now.
Yeah.
But that's what I think is most impressive. You have to adjust this today, right? You have to adjust. And that's just such a big deal to me, man. How they came out, Miami, I was a little nervous about today because I'm like, hey, this is the one you drop,
Yeah.
But they're just showing me every step of the way. They are a championship caliber basketball team.
Yeah.
And look, if they rebound versus Boston, watch out. We ain't there yet. We got to see if Boston gets out the first round right now. They might be in a series against Orlando, and they're getting beat up pretty hard, right, against Orlando. They might have to play Detroit after that or New York, right? Another physical team. So we'll see what Boston looks like by the time we get there. But, man, I understand the West Coast trip at the end of the season really did a number on the Cavs fans' morale. But this one right here, how they came out on the road versus a Miami team. And remember, this isn't just a regular Miami team. 2 years ago, a lot of this core went to the finals.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is an experienced Miami team, right? This is the team that has the edge and experience that the Cavs don't have, allegedly. I think that's bullshit because we'll talk about it in just a second here. I think the Cavs' experience, while not glorious, is very, they learned a lot from those last 2 years. And I think you alluded to that. But this is supposed to be the team that has the experience over here. Another thing that's underrated here, man, Kenny Atkinson is kicking Spo's ass.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Spo's a hell of a coach. And Kenny is just outmaneuvering him every step of the way. Step of the way.
You talk about, Garland being out and immediately doesn't start, Ty Jerome doesn't put DeAndre Hunter in there. Instead starts Sam Merrill. And again, Sam Merrill, 0 points today, but still plus in the plus minus. It's only a 3. But again, still has that, but off the bench because, again, you have guys that are familiarized in their role. You're not taking somebody that's out of their role like you have a Ty Jerome, where Ty Jerome off the bench today in 21 minutes, mind you, put up 13 points and 11 assists. Coming in and being that distributor off the bench. You have DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench, 21 points, 3 of 5 from deep. You have him able to pull those levers and be able to utilize those guys in just the right spurts. Max Strus, 31 minutes today, 18 points. Again, having Dean Wade come in every now and then, but Donovan Mitchell as well. You mentioned too, the not wanting him to score 30. Donovan in this game, less than 30 minutes. And it's an ass kicking. You have an all-out belt to ass for this game, and you didn't need Donovan for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, you have Tom Thibodeau, again, probably wanting to abolish the Sixth Man of the Year award. With the way that he's running his team and the fact that you're already having Bridges and those guys complain about the amount of minutes that they run. And somehow, some way, your leading minutes getter was Evan Mobley, who was 11 seconds more than Max Strus.
Yes, we ended this game with 5 Tristan Thompson minutes, and here's the kicker. Tristan Thompson plus 8. That's a new category of ass whipping.
Yeah. Don't tell that to Raptors fans.
That is a new category of ass whipping. Tristan Thompson plus 8 and 5 minutes. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. That means the bench crew got busy.
I mean, not only 5 minutes of him, 5 minutes of Jalen Tyson, who got 7 points.
Jalen Tyson got 7.
7
3
points,
or 4 from the floor and a 3.
And he got 2 rebounds, and assists, and a steal.
And here's the thing. The Cavs did this. They shot 37.5% from 3. That's below their average.
Right.
They're like a 42% three-point team, man. So this is just...
It's otherworldly from this team right now, man.
More evidence, man. If to these people who didn't think the Cavs belonged in the 1 seed and who were riding Boston, right? Hey, who's the team that lost game 3? Was it the veteran team or this inexperienced Cavs team?
Yeah. And on top of that, too, again, you talk about, Bam as well. Again, you're talking about a guy that was an Olympian. And you still are able to take care of business in that sense. You had the benefits for them, they had Davion Mitchell with 16 points, 7 of 11 from the field, but again, Donovan's not going to let him take the jersey sales. Like,
Yep.
I mean, this is just an all-out ass kicking for this series. And I'll be honest with the way that today went, because again, they started hot. Miami started with a big lead too. That's what we're also not like mentioning here as well. Like they started off like I think the lead was like 16 to like 5.
Yeah, they had like an 11-point lead, and then they ended the quarter. Cavs had 33 points in the first to 20 Miami ones. Like the Cavs, like I think we got to get to this part. The defense from this team today, and that look, a lot of people have been wondering. I haven't. Is the defense a switch they can turn on, or is it legitimately a sacrifice they made to get the offense to where it is? I've contended it's a switch. They just don't have to play. You have the best offense in the NBA. You don't have to play amazing defense all the time. I think today they came out, they left nothing to chance. They held Miami to 87 points. And then they scored 124. They keep topping their highest playoff point number, right? Because it was 119. They topped it with 121. They just topped it again today, right? Like they. And
we're just in the first round.
Yeah, and this is just they can be that dominant defensive team they've always been when they need to. Because here's the thing about the Cavs: everybody in their rotation, and even Darius Garland, as much shit as Darius Garland gets, and maybe the defensive performance looks a little bit better because Darius is not playing 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But even with Darius Garland, if Darius is your weakest defender, you're fine because he's not somebody, as much as Kendrick Perkins likes to make it out to be, you can't pick on Darius Garland for a whole series like you can pick on Tyler Hero.
Right.
And like you might be able to get a bucket, you might be able to get buckets off on Darius, no lie, but he's a willing defender. And being a willing defender means you're only going to be able to do but so much when you have all of these strong defenders. Everybody else in this rotation, plus defender. And then you got the world's greatest defender in Evan Mobley right now.
Well, and you even mentioned it too. Again, like you held them to 87, and that's with 5 Tristan Thompson minutes. Like
plus 8 Tristan Thompson
plus
minutes.
8 Tristan Thompson minutes. Like
he was defending.
Right. And but that just goes back to like this team is so ridiculously deep. And it's why like I think Kenny in these first 2 rounds, I'm interested to see how rotations go. And it's why especially, Evan Mobley and Strus being your top minutes getter with 31 minutes. I think like being able to save those minutes compared to, I mean, hell, I don't know what the minute totals were last year when it came to with JB, but like, I mean, those were getting cranked up into like the upper 30s at that point.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like,
it was so starting 5 reliant.
And on top of that, the series was so much more physical and you're giving more minutes to those starters. Whereas now it's, you're dealing with some of that physicality, obviously with Miami, but at the same time, you're not going as much when it comes to those minutes. You're not going as deep you're going deeper than you were last year and spreading out those minutes so that by the time that you get to a Boston, potentially in the Eastern Conference Finals, like you still have those guys ready to go and not physically beat to hell and back. Like having those minutes saved up and really keeping those legs fresh is going to pay so much dividends by the time that you get to, even next round, depending on who the hell you're facing in that matchup. Pacers leading that series, but seeing how that plays out regardless, I think that having a series like this where you're not only able to dominate, but you're able to do it efficiently with your minutes is going to pay dividends for them down the stretch.
Yeah. They're not getting worn out. Like Boston's playing 4-quarter games every time with Orlando right now.
Yeah.
And another thing, you mentioned Bam being an Olympic player. Look, there's a lot of players on these teams that we're circling in the playoffs that have guys who are on Olympic teams. The Cavs didn't have anybody on Olympic team. And I point that out because, look, the Cavs have been fresh on minutes, but also these guys have been playing since July if you've been on the Olympic team.
Yeah.
So, some of these guys, like what, LeBron, like he's going to tire out eventually, right? Like he's 40 and he's like been on the Olympic team. So we'll see what these guys look like. Jokic, he could slow down. He could get tired, right? Because he's been playing for a while. Especially
Giannis.
The only option on that team, Giannis, is another guy, right? So that's something to think about, right?
At least
like a
Jason
lot of
Tatum
wear
will be
and tear post link. That's rude, right? But Derek White won't be fresh, right? Because he
Right.
played a lot. So that's the thing here. Fantastic win. We could go on all day about it.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Love how Evan Mobley played today. Love his aggression at the hoop. Really went, attacked, dunked. We saw the one where he banged on Bam. We finally got that. I've been talking about it. People have been on Jared Allen's back. I'm like, look, he's going to give you a 20 and 10 game. We know Jared Allen's good for a 20 and 10 game. We got the Jared Allen 20 and 10 game. This is a fantastic win for the Cavaliers. We move on to game 4. I could not be more thrilled with how the Cavs have looked so far in this series. Hey, look, them in Oklahoma City look like the 2 best teams in basketball right now. It's the first round. It's early. But if you had to pick 2 of the best teams in basketball, I don't think there's any hesitation. Look at how Oklahoma City's getting through that first round. Look at how the Cavs are getting through that first round. It's basically identical. I think if we get a finals between these 2, it might be generational. And I don't mean that in the sense that, like, everybody says everything is generational. I'm saying that as in, like, it feels like this might be one of the craziest years if we can get these 2 teams in the finals, because this looks like the 2 best teams in basketball.
Yeah. And I would say this too. You mentioned OKC. OKC's been so dominant that they got Ja Morant sitting out in an elimination game. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it has been all out dominant. And I know national media will absolutely hate the small market versus small market. Small market be damned. I don't care. Like, this has been absolutely beautiful basketball. And I do want to add one thing too when it comes to Boston as well. And I know you mentioned them playing in that physical series against Orlando. Ever since the beginning of the season, the home opener, when they're raising the banner for their championship, and they decide immediately to go ahead and try to put up the record amount of 3-pointers made in the game in a regular season game. That's what they're trying for. I think that Boston is so susceptible and can get got by themselves. Like, Boston's biggest weakness is Boston. And it's the same thing where Jaylen Brown's pissed off because he didn't make it onto an Olympic team. Like, you got Jason Tatum that's pouting on the bench with more memes of, a worn out chair being his spot. Like, I think that Boston team, and again, them getting Orlando and then potentially New York or Detroit, I think that's going to pay more dividends for the Cavs down the stretch, because I think that that's going to get into their skull. And I think that when it comes to Boston, if you can get them tripping up on the way that team is built, and if you get them insecure, I think that team can get got easily. And again, with the way that the Cavs, and I was one of those teams I was one of those guys that I was a little worried with the way that they were kind of playing, even down like towards the end of the winning streak. Just wasn't a fan of just the way that they were playing sometimes, but the way that they've handled the playoffs at this point, I'm just like, okay, no, like, I'm good. I've seen everything I need to see. Let's get this done, get the sweep done, get a little bit more rest in, and move on to the next round. Because I don't think it matters who the hell is coming out of that Bucks Pacers series. Cavs are winning that. Like,
absolutely. I feel strongly about it, especially how this team's playing, man. They look focused. They understand the assignment, as the young folks will say. But love how the Cavs looked out here. We're going to talk about so much more here on the Cavs Burner on Quincy Channel. But I want to thank Mac Robinson for 92.3 The Fan for coming down and talking Cavs with us. We got to do this again, man.
Bro, I'm down anytime. Anytime you want me, I'm in. Let me know.
All right.